What is going on, folks? It is Dr. Remy LeBeau, and I'm coming at you once again from the X-Lair to provide you my deep and insightful thoughts into some more of my comics. And of course, drink a little bit of coffee. This is Mocha Java, Mocha with a K. Very exotic. I'm going to take a sip right now. Oh, stop it. Stop it, Mocha J. You're too good, Mocha J. You're too good to me, Mocha J. So I thought I'd share some more of my comics today. It's Saturday. I got a little bit of time. Just did a little workout. Might as well throw out some of my comics into the world. So I decided I would go for one of my X-Men boxes to, really kind of drive home the theme of my obsession with the X-Men, which all of you share. Of course, we're the same. We're the same person. We have the same shirt. No, I've had this shirt for probably over 10 years now. I rarely wear my shirts. Like, I'll find, good shirts, and then I'll just keep them, and they're still in good shape. Super happy about that. If you go back in my YouTube channel to, some of my earliest videos, which are, maybe 10 years ago now, 10 years old now, they, some of them will have me in this shirt. Crazy, I know. I'm a hobo. I'm an ex-hobo. I'm an X-Men hobo. All right, so this box is in the Immortal X-Men long box, which was recently released. And it's just really exciting to get a nice Immortal X-Men box. I mean, by Mark Brooks, who did the cover to the first issue. It's beautiful. All right, let's get to it. All right, Alpha Flight number 106. This is when North Star came out of the closet. As far as I know, this is the earliest gay representation that we had in comic books, especially from the big two, DC and Marvel. North Star comes out, he's in pain. This is before I was out of the closet. I remember it came out. It was on the wall in my comic book shop, and it would always kind of freak me out because I was terrified that anyone would know that I was gay, because we're all screwed up, especially back in the 80s and the 90s. If you were in the closet, things weren't too great. But fortunately, I made it through. And this comic is something special. This one's signed by Dan Panosian, who is the artist. So wonderful. All right, we got All New X-Men number 3. I believe this is the first appearance of Morph in the regular 616 universe. I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's why I have it. And it's also a cool Liefeld cover. I know not everybody loves Liefeld, but I like me some Liefeld, And I definitely like Liefeld drawing X-Force, because, he revolutionized New Mutants. He made X-Force a thing, so got to give it up to the dude for that. All right, this is All New X-Men number 40. This is from the Bendis run. This is when the young X-Men were brought into the present. I didn't love the premise of that. I'm so glad it's finally over. But this is another important gay issue. This is the issue when Bobby, I believe this is the issue when Bobby comes out of the closet. So Bendis is the one that did that. I mean, you got to give it up to the guy for that. I know a lot of people were divided on the idea of Bobby coming out of the closet since he was exhibiting straight behavior prior to that. But hey, you need a little gay in our X-Men, for God's sake. In good part, they're an allegory for our struggle, even though they're an allegory for every marginalized group's struggle. But nonetheless, important comic, had to have it. I had to enjoy this coffee too. Get out of my face and into my mouth. Coffee. It's all over my mustache. All right, I have several copies. This is from the Age of Apocalypse. Got the second printing as well. These, back in the 90s, this was the first alternate reality sort of kind of all title reboot. All the X-Men comics became titles within the Age of Apocalypse. It was a thing. It's still a thing. It's one of my favorite storylines just because it has that nostalgic value. And this is one of the titles. This is the Amazing X-Men. I believe this was the adjectiveless X-Men title that became Amazing X-Men. I believe I know that because Andy Kubert is the artist, and that too replaced Jim Lee, and he was trying to do his best Jim Lee. And anyway, so I have the second one here. Look at that. We got the We got this guy. I forgot who this guy is, but he's somebody. Then I've got the third one. Hello. Apocalypse versus Magneto. Yes, please. Got another copy of that one. I don't know why I have another copy of that one, but I do. And there's the fourth issue. Storm. And, oh yeah, Bishop. Because Bishop was like a key player. Bishop had just been introduced. And then he became a key player in this because he's the only one that remembered the real reality. So for those that don't know, Legion, Xavier's son, went back in the past, killed Xavier. Because he was trying to kill Magneto, but he accidentally killed Xavier. And then that caused the Age of Apocalypse in the present. And Bishop was the only one that remembered. And that was sort of the key to fixing the whole thing, you know. So anyway, I got another copy of that. So that's amazing. And then we've got, of course, Astonishing X-Men was... This was Uncanny X-Men. This is drawn by Joe Madureira. Joe Mad, for short. I love Joe Mad's work. Joe Mad drawing the Uncanny X-Men back in the day was awesome. I love everything he did in the Age of Apocalypse. Got a couple of copies of that one. And maybe more than a couple. That's the first one. I've got the second one here. I don't think I have all of them. Got the second one. Got the third one. Actually, I do have the fourth one, but it is signed by Joe Mad. So I've got this one. There's the signature. Got this one displayed in the old X-Layer because I love it so much. And that's one of the best X-Men covers ever. And Joe Mad just killed it. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so this is Astonishing X-Men #1. This is when Joss Whedon comes in. This is post Grant Morrison kind of revolutionizing the X-Men after they, you know, were having a kind of a lackluster run for a bit. Got some Joss Whedon up in the house, responsible for Buffy, responsible for Angel, responsible for the Avengers 1 and 2. Really, a big part of the success of the MCU is because of Joss Whedon. But apparently, Joss Whedon's a big dick, and that's something we found out recently. I got to separate the art from the artist, though, because I've always enjoyed his work, but it's so disappointing that he's a big dick. But nonetheless, he did some stuff in this book, and his run is a really good read, unfortunately. Everything he did was good. I mean, what are we supposed to just ignore that fact? Times are tough, man. Times are tough in geekdom. I'm going to have some more coffee. God damn, that coffee's good. All right, so we got Astonishing X-Men #4. There's a significance to this issue. I believe this is the first appearance of Armor, perhaps. Might be the first appearance of Armor. Got that one. This is, I believe, when Colossus returned. So Colossus, so there was this whole thing, the Legacy virus, Strife, Cable's clone during the Executioner song crossover of the 90s. At the end, he let out the Legacy virus, which was basically like mutant AIDS, essentially. And it was killing off all the mutants. And then at some point, Colossus sacrifices himself to cure the Legacy virus. And this was his return. It was a big moment. Everybody was excited about it. Yippee, he's back. And here's a couple more issues. I just have a few more random issues from this run. And that's that, yeah. All right, now we're jumping more into the modern era. So this is Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain. This actually just came out. This is a Teenie Howard's run that started in Excalibur, and then I think eventually came to this. I gotta say, I don't love the whole Excalibur thing. The only thing I really liked about it was Apocalypse. And then when Apocalypse left, after X of Swords, like, it just didn't do it for me. And I had to drop the book because I just didn't care, you know? And I hated that Gambit was in there. Because, like, I want Gambit to be, like, one of the main X-Men. I don't want him to be sidelined in some, like, fringe team that, like, isn't really doing much. I don't know. Everything to do with Excalibur and, like, Merlin and, like, Otherworld and all that stuff, I just don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't care. Maybe it's because I never actually read Excalibur back in the day. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, that's... this is a Peach Momoko cover, so, you know, had to have that. All right, Bishop War College. So this is very interesting. This is a recent run that just started. Bishop gets thrown into an alternate reality where all the X-Men are black. Whoa, what? Love that Marvel's doing this. Love that this story is being told. Black artists and writers are taking care of this book. It's wonderful. I look forward to seeing what happens next with it. It's one of the recent gems. Cable Reloaded. The Last Annihilation. This was a big mech. So not much to say about it. Children of the Atom. So this is Children of the Atom. This was one of the titles that came out like probably about 2 years ago. You assumed it was going somewhere, but it didn't really. But it did introduce her, who was inspired by Gambit, and she was actually a mutant. I forget her name, but got a couple of covers of that. Here's a cool variant of it. I do enjoy this variant. A little bit more there. Then this is the third one. I don't know why I don't have the second one. Don't ask, don't tell about that. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. Like, it just turned out like they weren't really mutants, except for one of them. And then, anyway, but I mean, we had some cool covers come out of it, and I like the character. I hope we see her some more. She's kind of like, I believe she's like a shape changer, like Mystique. So she's got that ability. So they have yet to use her properly, but I mean, we'll see, you know. All right, so that's Children of the Atom. Yeah, I'll read the run again at some point, because why not, you know? It exists. So good. So good. This is one of the rare I'm not a huge Deadpool fan. This is a rare Deadpool comic. I bought it because I had a statue of Deadpool on a scooter that was very similar to this, and this was displayed with it. But eventually I got rid of that statue because I can't keep every statue. And I kept the comic, but I don't know what to do with it. So it languishes in my comic box. Okay, this is the recent Deadpool run. The only reason I got this, Liefeld is drawing a Deadpool cover. I mean, he invented Deadpool. He didn't invent the funny Deadpool, though. That was, I believe, Joe... I forget his name, man. Joe Kelly. I think that's his name. But he did, like, come up with the character design, you know, and he came up with a lot of the backstory. And, yeah, he laid the groundwork, and then it evolved. But nonetheless, like, you got to give it up to the dude. There's that one. Got this one as well. This is also just another variant of the Deadpool, because it's David Nakayama. I mean, how can you not pick up David Nakayama variants? The dude knows what he's doing. And this also... I was picking up this series, which is like a series of blinds, like covers that involve blinds. So it was a fun cover. Had to buy it because I was just buying a lot of comics recently, and now I'm not buying as many comics because I realize I don't have enough room for them. So I'm definitely tamping down on buying just a bunch of randos, but nonetheless, they're in my collection, and I've shared them with you. The smell was not deceptive. It tasted as good as it smelled. Take my word for it. All right, so Wolverine died a few years ago. I mean, did he really die? Can Wolverine really die? He was covered in adamantium. He was still alive. Whatever. It was a thing. I bought all the J. Scott Campbell covers. But I only have 1 and 2 because 3 and 4 I got, I actually got slabs, the CGC slab, but then recently I had to sell a bunch of slabs because I needed some cash, and they're gone. But, I mean, you gotta love some J. Scott Campbell goodness. And, you know, there's some sexy, like, Wolverine action there, you know. Always enjoy a little shirtless Wolverine action because, hey, I'm gay and I like looking at Wolverine shirtless. Hey, don't at me, bro. Don't at me. Okay. All right, so this is one of the series of covers. This is Excalibur number 21. This is from the first Hellfire Gala. They did a series of covers where they had all the characters in their couture Hellfire Gala looks. I believe this is Jubilee, Gambit, Pixie, or no, this is Megan. I believe this is Richter, and this is Jamie Braddock, who's Elizabeth Braddock and Brian Braddock's crazy brother, who can apparently create reality from thin air and manifest like actual physical, tangible things. He played a big role in Planet Size X #1, which was really exciting. All right, we've got Captain Britain #1. This is Excalibur 24, but this is a Joe Jusko Marvel Masterpieces Series 1 cover a card printed as a cover. That series of cards was from the 90s. I collected them. I loved having them as covers, so I had to get that one. Fallen Angels, one of the original titles from the Krakoan Age. Not a huge fan of it, but you know, I did enjoy this cover, so I bought it. I think that was an Unknown Comics exclusive. All right. So recently we had a Gambit series written by Chris Claremont, and some of the covers were drawn by Will Sportasio, who I really love Will Sportasio's work. So I had to pick some of those up, but apparently I picked up just too many because I have like 3 cover copies of this one. And then I've also got this one by Lee In-hyuk, who I enjoy. I enjoy his art. He's a good one. I believe this is, I don't know who this is, but I do like this cover as well. I guess I like it quite a bit because I've got 3 of them. Somebody stop me. Somebody please stop me. I can't have this many comics. I don't have room for them. Here's another cover of the first issue. Somebody stop me, please. Oh, here's another cover of the first issue. Why do I have so many of these? I have no idea. Honestly, I have no clue. Somebody give me a time machine. I need to go back in time and stop myself from buying these. Gambit #2, though, Hellfire Gala. This is the second Hellfire Gala. This was Gambit's look there, and this is drawn by Douterman. Yeah, great job. Had to get it. I had another one of these on the wall, so just wanted to make sure I had a couple of those. Enjoyed the homoerotic aspects of them. What? Yeah, I'm gay. I like guys that are shirtless. Shoot me. Okay, anyway, so, yeah, so I've got Gambit issue #2 here. Gambit issue #3. These take place, like, right before Gambit joins the team. I mean, it was fine, you know, nothing mind-blowing, but fine, you know, totally fine. All right, comics, don't fall down. Excellent. Oh, here's issue 5. Okay, great. All right, Generation X. Had to have a Generation X. This is from the 90s. This is the introduction of the team. A lot of them were already introduced in the crossover, which is called Generation Next. But you know, but then this started up. But soon after it started, we had the Age of Apocalypse, and I believe those the issues became Generation Next. That's some good ass coffee. Anyway, so that's that. All right, so a couple of the recent Krakoan Age books, they released Giant Size X-Men. This is Jean and Emma Frost, so this was like a cool little issue. I enjoyed the cover, so I grabbed that one. I believe this is Giant Size X-Men Magneto. Had to get this one. I think that's an Unknown Comics exclusive as well. Giant Size X-Men Thunderbird. This was real cool because this is like right after Thunderbird was resurrected, right after the trial of Magneto. There's a different way to resurrect mutants that was metaphysical, that Scarlet Witch created, and it allowed mutants to be brought back that weren't backed up by Cerebro. They brought in order to bring back one of the original Giant Size X-Men who died 3 issues in, Thunderbird, and he was reunited with his brother Warpath. It was a touching issue, had to have it. Lovely, lovely variant of that issue. Had to have that one as well. All right. This is the official guide to the Hellfire Gala. This is like a preview thing that was done before the first Hellfire Gala. Had to have that. All right. So what do we got here? We got Hellions. So Hellions is one of the original runs from the Krakoan Age as well. Hellions involved the, it's kind of like the Misfits, and they were like Sinister's team, and it was a fun kind of run. Here's one of the Hellfire Gala covers. I love Sinister's look. In fact, I love everybody's look in this. Yeah, Havoc looks great. I think this is Betsy or Kwannon, Psylocke. And this is Exodus, I believe. Yeah, all of these were beautiful looks. And then, it just kept going, There's that one. There's this one. I don't have all of them, but I have a lot. But here's like the Joe Jesko Marvel Masterpieces one. Awesome. There's a little bit more of that. And a little bit more of this. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of hell in your eons. Oh, yeah. David Nakayama, hello. Had to get this one. Madeline Pryor. Everybody has a hard on for Madeline Pryor. I don't really care about Madeline Pryor, to be honest, but I know people love her. I don't know why. Okay. Hellions. Peach Momoko, Madeline Pryor. Hello. Had to get that one. And apparently had to get two of them. Somebody stop me now. Please, just tie me up. Don't let me buy any more comics. Oh, boy. All right. Hellions everywhere. And not a current run to spare because they were canceled and there's no more of that. Anyway, all right, House of X. This is what started the recent age. This is, I believe, the second printing of the first issue. Had to have this. This is one of the most mind-blowing issues of comics I've ever read. House of X #2. I mean, it's freaking awesome. It just blew my mind. I remember when I read it for the first time, I was like, what is going on? Just Hickman, thank you for that gift. This is House of X #4, second printing. Cool little cover there. Let me see, what do we got? House of X. I think this is #5. So I think I'm missing #3. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, so this is some Iceman. There was an Iceman run post him coming out. This is when Dark Veil was introduced, the first mutant drag queen. I had to have these issues because they're historically important for gay culture. Hello, I'm gay. Hi. Okay, so Immortal X-Men #1, Mark Brooks. I mean, just gorgeous cover. Had to have that one, and had to have another copy of it apparently. Oh wait, there's another copy because I had to have two. Oh wait, no, that's 3. Oh no, wait, oh no, I had to have a 4th one. Oh wait, hold on there. I had to have a freaking 5th one. Will somebody take my wallet from me? Just take it from me. Don't tell me where it is. I don't want to find it. Take it from me. Thank you. This was a fun little variant of it. A little bit of Sinister up in that. And then apparently I got 2 of them. Why? Don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell. Okay, then we've got this like weird Queen Elizabeth, Emma Frost as Queen Elizabeth cover. Not for some reason, this is a cool cover. I had to have it. Hello. Cover has been had. This is a weird cover. I think this is Emma. Oh, I know what this is. This is Emma Frost, like, as a spider character. So I had to get that one because that was a cool cover. And then, cool Mark Brooks subsequent coverage. Immortal X-Men is one of my favorite runs of the Krakoan age. Here's some more Sinister for you. Loving this run. Honestly, Sins of Sinister, the current crossover that they're doing like an Age of Apocalypse thing where like a few of the titles were retitled and we're going into the future. It's interesting, but I feel like it kind of derailed the momentum a bit. And so did like Judgment Day, which was a big Marvel crossover that involved the mutants as well. Crossovers tend to derail the momentum of good writing. It's unfortunate. Marvel does it to themselves every single time, but it is what it is. 3rd issue of Immortal X-Men. 4th issue, all Mark Brooks goodness. I mean, Jesus H. Christ. This was a cool Destiny cover for the 4th one. Exodus, issue 5. Another Exodus, issue 5. See, Judgment Day. Don't Judgment Day. Don't judge me, Judgment Day. Don't judge me, Judgment Day. Immortal X-Men #6. This was actually a really cool Spider-Man variant of Immortal X-Men. Had to have that one because it looked really cool. And then, I love this cover. This is Sebastian Shaw, Mark Brooks. There's some stuff going on there. Apparently, I loved it a little bit too much because, 3 of them. Why do I have 3 of those? Can somebody please just cut my hands off and my fingerprints and my face so that I can't open my phone. Thank you. Okay, another Judgment Day tie-in, but I do love this cover because it's really cool. A little bit more Nightcrawler up in his house. Almost makes my overspending feel good. Almost. All right. Love this cover. This is post Judgment Day. Finally, Judgment Day's over. We can go back in time and track some of the history of Destiny and Mystique. This Mark Brooks cover is exquisite. Had to have it. Another cool issue. This is leading up to the Sins of Sinister, when we're starting to find out what Sinister's up to. It's really cool. I did enjoy that. Still, the jury's out on Sins of Sinister, but we're only about maybe close to 3/4 of the way through. We'll see what happens there. Some more Mark Brooks stuff. I really enjoy this Emma Frost as like Sinisterized cover. Mark Brooks, excellence. I mean, hello. And then finally we're into Sins of Sinister. Immortal X-Men becomes Immoral X-Men. First issue, there you are. Oh, actually, that other one was also this. Okay, great. Fantastic. All right, Inferno was the last Hickman run that sort of tied up his take on the Krakoan Age. It was an interesting run. I don't know if I love it, but who knows. This is a Mark Brooks cover. Beautiful. Had to have it. Another lovely cover of that. Another lovely cover of that. I believe this is... I don't know who did it, but it's beautiful. This is Emma Frost. Got a little more Inferno action up in his house. Got some Peach Momoko action. Inferno. Hello. A little David Nakayama Inferno. Hi. Hi. My name is David Nakayama, and I know how to draw. I'm not actually David Nakayama. Don't let the words fool you. A little bit more of Inferno. And then a little more Nakayama. This is issue 4 of Inferno. And I really enjoyed this Inferno cover. This is when we're like discovering, oh shit, Moira McTaggart is not as good as we thought she was. In fact, she's awful. Okay, so running out of time here. Want to keep this to half hour, so let's finish this off. A little bit more Inferno. A little bit more Inferno. Okay, there's that. Okay, so this is Knights of X. This is like the next chapter of Excalibur before the Captain Britain. Again, written by Tini Howard. Don't love this run, but whatever. For some reason, I have 2 of those. Don't ask, don't tell. A little bit more of that one. I just like these covers, so I got them, but did not love this run. Just not interested in it. Okay, Legion of X. This is another big swing that's being taken. This is by Cy Spurrier. Don't love this run either. It's just too out there. Like, the whole Krakoan Age is already a big swing. We don't need even bigger swings. We don't need it. Bigger swings on top of big swings, it becomes a little bit too much. That's just my opinion. Everybody can have their own. I respect everybody's opinion. That's mine, though. All right, a little bit more of this one, though, because I do enjoy these covers. Legion of X. And, of course, I mean, Hellfire Gala, Havoc, Robert Dowderman, beautiful. And then, you know, I had to finish off the Legion of X run because I'm just a completist. But again, not loving that run. Not loving that run. But I mean, we finally found out who this person is, and that was exciting. We found out in Sins of Sinister, so that's cool. And there you are. That's the final one in this box. All right, so lots of X-Men. Lots of sort of big swings, lots of interesting stuff happening in the Krakoan Age. Yeah, those are my comics, baby. Thanks for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed my video. Maybe I'll come back next week. Maybe I won't. I mean, we'll see, you know. It just depends on how much coffee my body can handle. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you for checking out the video. Everybody take care of themselves. And as always, I want to remind you that if you haven't already, you better put an X in the box because ain't nobody checking me. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.